What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is TimProVision. Today we're going to do a mini in-depth look at Ranked Apex Legends to help you all get off on a good start for Ranked as Split 2 takes place on Olympus for Season 8, and of course, even for future splits. I want to give a big thanks to Darky in our community Discord for giving me this video idea, so thank you so much. I've been meaning to make something like this for a while now, as I do get a lot of questions regarding Ranked Apex Legends. Let's just jump right into it and talk about what you're going to need to at least break even or slightly positive to level up through each ranked, Bronze through Masters, and then we'll jump into more specific tips. I'm going to also be referring to it as KP, which is kill points, and this means you either need a kill or an assist point to get some RP or ranked points in Apex Legends. For Bronze, all you need is 13th place or higher or a single kill. There is no entry fee. Silver costs 12 rank points to get into a game, so you're going to need 2 KP or 1 KP in 13th place or just 8th place or better. Gold costs 24 RP to get into a game, so you're going to need 3 KP, 2 KP in 13th place, or just to get 6th place or better to get a positive gain. Platinum costs 36 to get into a match, so you're going to need 4 KP alone, 2 KP in 8th place, or just 4th place or better. Diamond costs 48 to get into a game, so you're going to need 5 KP, 3 KP in 8th place, or just 2nd place and better. And finally, Masters, if you're grinding for that pred, you're going to need 6 KP to break even, 8th place and 4 KP, or 2nd. Obviously, these are just general breakdowns, and there's more combos, but this gives you an idea as what you're going to need to level up for each rank. Of course, what we all want to do is at least break even, if not positive, for every game, and this is going to be your priority to level up. Deeper you get into the ranks, the harder it is to keep yourself on that grind, of course, so keep your positivity up, make sure you're communicating with your teams. This moves us on to choosing your battles. The big thing to be mindful of is to choose the right fight, that way you're not overextending yourself or getting out of the game early. And this will depend on your individual skill level as you're progressing through the ranks. The way I approach this for my games is kind of Bronze through Gold. I'm completely free. These are basically just if I was playing pub games. The people that I'm playing with in Bronze through Gold are really not that hard for me. However, as soon as I hit Platinum, I am then kind of starting to choose my battles a little bit more so I can get full KP and best placement I can, because the enemy teams are going to be a little bit better, a little bit harder for me to manage. It still isn't quite that bad, but as I am going on, I'm trying to again be a little bit safer with my fights. So the rank you're at doesn't really matter, but the way I am approaching this, so for me it's Platinum, for you it might be Gold, it might be Silver, it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to get a team to fight off spawn or pretty early into the game. This way I know I'm getting somewhere between 0 and 3 kill or assist points right off in the early game. Sometimes this doesn't always work out. If this does happen, I'll try to push a team during mid game. That way I'm still getting my max KP. But by me getting a team to fight off spawn, if I do get 3 kill or assist points, I can then get another 3 when we are fighting the final team in the game or the final couple teams. That way I am maxing out my placement with taking the minimal amount of risk as possible. I'm getting those 6 kill and assist points by only fighting 2 teams. So just keep this in mind. My sole purpose is to just max out my kill and assist points for myself and my team. The biggest thing though is to still not play afraid, take fights, make sure you're trading damage and getting some kills along the way. The worst thing that could happen is you're not getting any kills or assist points, and you're getting something like 6th place, and you're just breaking even, which is wasting your time, and you're not really getting any better at the game. Also, if you're doing this, if you're playing really slow and playing really afraid, you're probably not going to take fights, which means you're not looting up, you're not leveling up your Evo shield. That way, when you do get into the end game, the enemy teams are probably going to have better loot and better Evo shields than you, so you're going to be on the down anyway. So don't play afraid, take your time, look for opportunities, and capitalize on your fights. Also, don't put yourself in a position that will make you suffer later on. And what I mean by this is to be mindful of not to get into places that leave yourself in the open from getting shot or pushed from multiple angles. So when I get the diamond, this is the real deal for me in terms of my skill level. And unless you're a pro or an extremely good player, this is probably going to be a pain point and a difficult spot to get past. A lot of people get hard stuck on Diamond 4. Individual skill comes heavily into play here, and you'll absolutely need to get a decent amount of kills and placement to level up out of Diamond. So just keep this in mind, this might be a place where you do get stuck a little bit. Teamwork is a huge thing in ranks, especially in higher tier ranks. Make sure you're playing with your teammates and communicating. If you're solo queuing, make sure you're pinging as much as possible as to where enemies are. Make sure you're pinging loot. Every little thing does matter. Even if you're walking over a few syringes, you might want to ping them for your team, because they are going to probably need them, even if you don't think they might need them. Again, the biggest thing is for choosing your right fights, getting some kills and assists. You don't need a boatload of kills and assists to max out your KP. Honestly, you only need 2 enemy teams to get your max KP, so just keep this in mind. For me, it's 1 early game or 1 mid game, and then another team at late game to win the match. Moving on from this, what legend you are playing honestly doesn't matter too much, but there are about 3 or 4 legends in my eyes that do help a ton with getting kills or assist points. And for that, the first is going to be Bloodhound. The scans will give you assist points is one of the easiest way to get assist points, so you are maxing out your KP every game. If you are playing solo queue, this may be a hard legend to get, as a lot of people also like to take Bloodhound. A second option for me is going to be Crypto. Obviously, Crypto's drone scans will again give you assist points, but also EMPing entire areas of the map with multiple teams will give you a good amount of tags, which again will lead you to getting assist or kill points. A third option for me that some don't think of is Caustic. Traps will tag enemies for gas. That 5 damage that you're going to get from the gas trap means you're going to get an assist if your teammate cleans them up. So this is another huge thing. Gas damage is pretty good to get assist points. And then the last legend I just want to say is Gibraltar. This isn't really someone that's going to help you get KPRP, but I find Gibraltar has insane one-on-one viability with a lot of great teamwork because of that dome shield and the ultimate. So for me, Gibraltar is a pretty good ranked legend that probably someone on your team should be running. One more thing for legends in Apex Legends. If you are playing with a pre-made squad, say you have a Bloodhound and say you have someone like Gibraltar, if you're looking for a third legend to play and you want to kind of get that squad kind of geared up, something that you might want to consider is playing like Watson or Rampart or Caustic. All 3 of these legends can be a little bit more defensive, which means you can keep teams from pushing into you, which means you can kind of hold up spots on the map, get that positioning, and play a little bit slower. All 3 of these legends for me generally work really well. Caustic might be the best in between in terms of you can use the gas for offensive and defensive purposes, but Watson I find is one of the super powerhouses when it does come to holding areas in the map. So just keep this in mind also if you are playing as a pre-made squad. All other legends are fine, but again, I think they lack some RP farming, and the main ones again are Bloodhound, Crypto, and Caustic. Moving on from this, let's talk about a few solo queuing tips for you. Pinging is crucially important, especially if you're playing games without microphones. If you're not pinging, you're probably going to lose. I mean, this is the most basic level of communication. I would definitely try to mic up every time you can. If you're not microphoning, again, just make sure you're pinging. Stick with your teammates as much as possible. Do not run off without them. But this also doesn't mean to hold hands with them, but you need to be within shooting range or within like maybe a reviving range, you know, to help them out. Support your team. Another big thing that doesn't get mentioned enough is to team shoot in Apex Legends. 2 guns versus 1 gun is going to be a huge bonus every time. If you're team shooting, you're going to down people very quickly, much faster than they really expect. Another tip when it comes to maybe solo queuing or even playing with teammates is your landing spot. Your landing spot is going to be huge. It's going to determine how the game plays out. If you go center, you might not have to move as much, but if you land on the outer edges of the ring, you're going to have less teams to fight, which means less randomness, and this is how I like to play. I do like to land on the outer sides of the map. This way, I'm not getting third-partied from every single angle. I know generally where people are going to be coming from. I know people might be coming from north, east, and south if I'm landing on the west side of the map because I am having my back to the side of the map. Another tip I want to just add is to finish your fights quickly. If you're taking a team to fight, the faster you finish them up means the more time you have to loot their dead bodies, which means the more time you have to prepare for a third party coming in. Third parties are insanely good if you are being the one doing the third party in Apex Legends. If you're taking too long, if you're trading shots for a long time, you are just going to get third partied. It's just a fact in Apex. Just keep that in mind. If you want to avoid third parties, finish fights quickly, down the enemy teams, and then move on and get ready for the third team. I would also recommend to always expect a third party. If you kill an enemy team, instantly take an armor swap before you start looting, heal up your health, and then kind of figure out if anyone's nearby. If you do want to take your other armor, that might be out. Finally, let's just now briefly talk about the best weaponry for ranked Apex Legends, in my opinion. And for me, it's going to be 1 mid or long range gun and 1 close range weapon. Weaponry for ranked honestly does matter quite a bit. You won't be taking as many fights as a pub game. Because of this, I like to run medium range weapons. My preferred weapon is going to be the R301 because this gun honestly does excel at all ranges. I can close range hip fire this gun. At medium range, I can almost do full auto. And at long range with an anvil, I can pop fire. So the R301 for me is a good gun for all ranges, and this is my preferred weapon. Other guns that could benefit you well are like the triple take, the Hemlock, the G7. All these guns have a little bit viability at all ranges. I find these are pretty good. This brings me to the fact where if you are using medium range weapons, which you should be, and you do get a pick on someone, meaning you knock them, you absolutely need to capitalize on finishing them. This is free KPRP. A 3-on-2 should be no problem for you and your team. If you are playing solo, this might be a little bit harder to do. If you do knock someone, you need to see what your teammates are doing. Are they going to push up with you or not? If you're the only one pushing in, you're actually in a 1-on-2, which is your disadvantage now. So again, if you do knock someone and you are communicating with your team, you got a 3-on-2. Make sure you capitalize on that. That is your free KPRP that you deserve to get. So there we have it. Those are some tips and information to help you out with this upcoming rank split. I've never played ranked on Olympus, so I think I will give it a good try with this split and see how it goes. I'm curious to see how a slower game does play on Olympus. I think it's going to be a lot better than Kings Canyon right now because there is a lot of third partying, but we will wait and see. Again, guys, make sure you're not being scared. Make sure you're taking fights and capitalizing on those gains that you can get. I wish you the best of luck in rank this split and future seasons. I appreciate the support on the video, guys. If you have any more questions, be sure to drop by a Twitch stream. I would love to chat with you about Apex Legends. Till next time, I hope you have a great day. Peace out.